Hello, can you hear me? Swastik is there. Can you write in the comment box? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, am I audible? Are you there, Manas? Can you write in the chat box once again that I am audible? Hello, am I audible? Yeah, show speak. I can see your comment. Now I'll share the screen. Please confirm whether you can see my screen or not. I'll share my computer screen. Is it visible now? Please write in the comment box if it is visible. Hello. Hello, am I audible now? We will start the session after a while. So people are joining. Let them join. During the session, if you have any query, you can write the query in the chat box. And today's session will be interactive. So whichever comment you have, I'll see the comments and I'll try to respond to your comment. Good afternoon, everybody. Please write to the comment box if you can hear me. So, welcome back. Today, we are going to present the first class on algorithm and introduction to C and FORTRAN. So, we'll make this class more interactive because this is the first class, and in this class, we are going to tell you what are the things we are going to cover in this particular course and what exactly you people are going to learn from this particular course. So I'll expect your comments in the chat box so that I can interact with you all. So I have noted down the aims of this particular course. So this course, we have many people, I mean people from different background we have accommodated in this particular course, and hence the main aim of the course is to introduce to students the fundamentals of programming language. Then we'll come to algorithm of this coding, and any algorithm is the heart of coding. Then we'll shift from one language to another language. That means if you have knowledge of a particular language, then shifting to other language is very easy. So in this particular course we'll cover, and that is why we have taken two languages like C programming and Fortran. So if you know a particular language like C, how can you translate it into Fortran code just by knowing the syntax and all that we will be covering in this particular course. Another important thing is syntax of a coding. This is not so important because you may google it and you may learn the syntax. Suppose you are working with Matlab, so it is not necessary to know all the syntax at a time, and this is not possible to mug up all the syntax, because if you are working with C, you are working with Matlab, Fortran at a time, so it is not possible to know all the things. So you may have a library of syntax, and you can search from that library and you can write your code. But the most important thing is logical thinking. If you have the logical thinking, if you can build your algorithm, then your coding will become very easy. And in this particular class we learn this step by step, and hence I'm telling like preliminary concepts like syntax, that is important. But memorizing the syntax is not important, but you should know how to write the code, and that is why a preliminary knowledge of syntax will be the most important part of to start a coding. Then you have to know header files. In many languages there are header files written, and we have to call those header files in order to write the code, in order to work with the code. And hence people must have knowledge of header files and basic structure of a coding. Like if you should have the concept of if else, you should have the concept of loop and function subordinates subroutines, and those things are important. And data files is another important thing. When we write a large code, like we have to do some particular calculations, and then the results we have to write in a particular data file so that we can use that results for further processing. So how to write results in a data file, how to store the data, and from the data files how to generate the image in order to visualize the results of the code. Those are important things, and in this particular course we will be covering all the things. In the last we'll do an assessment, and this assessment will be done for the people who have registered for the certificate. We'll be giving you a particular assignment, and you have to submit the assignment, and we'll be checking your problems, and if you have any query, we'll be doing doubt clearing class. So 1 month we'll be continuing with this particular class. After a month we'll be giving you the assessment, the assignments, and those assignments will only be given to the people who have registered for a certificate. And we'll start the doubt clearing class after a month. We have few linked courses, and for doing this particular course, preliminary knowledge of this course is very much important. So once you have done this course, you will be able to do the advanced computing, and this is very much important for engineers. And this particular course will be comprising of solving partial differential equations, linear algebra problems, and a CFD problem. So we'll be solving these three things so that you have a general knowledge of applications of a particular code writing, so that you can solve a partial differential equation, you can solve linear algebra problems. Suppose you have numerous set of equations, like in general we solve up to three equations. Those are coupled linear equations. But if you have more than three equations, then solving it by normal methodology is not possible. Then we have to get the help of linear algebra, and we have to solve it with the help of a coding. CFD means computational fluid dynamic problem. So this is very much important, and we have to write code in order to do some basic fluid dynamic problem. So we'll be covering all those things in that particular course. Then we have basic numerical techniques for non-engineering students, in non-engineering background students. So in this particular course, we are targeting to do preliminary physical and chemical calculations. So in many cases, like the people who are doing chemistry, MSc in chemistry, suppose you are doing physical chemistry, then many times you have to solve equations like cubic equation we have to solve, and solving a cubic equation is not possible analytically, and for that we have to go by trial and error method or guessing method. You have to guess a particular solution, and then we have to see how much it deviating or how much it is getting validated with the thing, and thereby coding knowledge will appear. And this particular course will be for those students who do not know basic things. And then we'll come to fundamentals of coding to real life microprocessor based coding. So this course will be another free course. We'll be coming up with this course very shortly. In this particular course, our aim is we know fundamental coding, we know to write equations with the will come to know the basic coding. And then in this particular course we will teach you how to use those knowledge to make a particular microprocessor coding. I'll give you a simple example. Like when we go to ATM, then they certain instructions are written. We insert our card, and certain set of instructions are followed. We just click on one by one, and this is nothing but a coding. And in background there is some microprocessor or some central processing is going on. So all those things are done with the help of coding only, and that is a particular practical example. So in this particular course we'll be covering all those things. And then we have numerical methods for engineers and researchers. Also, we are running 4 month online internship for computational techniques. This one we are doing with Bioaptagen Private Limited. So in this particular case, now everything is going online, and that is why we have come up with this particular idea. Here we'll be giving a particular problem related to your branch or your stream. Like if you are doing chemical engineering, maybe a chemical process industry related problem will be given to you. You will be writing the basic problem statement, and then you will be developing, say, mass balance and energy balance you are doing. So mass balance and energy balance for the entire plant you have to make, and in each step there might be certain calculations you have to do those calculations, and you will be submitting it as a project report, and will certify for this particular course. This one we are not doing alone. This is the course we are doing in collaboration with Bioaptagen Private Limited. Now I come to the main focus. This is the technical part of today's lecture. So we'll be learning programming, about basic programming language. So in a programming language, these concepts are important. The first one is, what is a programming language, that you have to know. So if I tell you very easily, a programming language is kind of a language. Like in English language, we have words. We have to learn ABCD, then we have to construct word, and after constructing words, we have to construct a meaningful sentence. Similar way, in a computer program, you have many syntax. You have, then syntax are kind of grammar. If you do mistake with the syntax, it will not run. Like if you do any grammatical mistake, then your sentence is not proper. Like the way in a coding syntax is important, because any error in the syntax will not lead to the calculation. And here also, like a b c d and word, we have certain, like in C language we have integer, we have float. In every language we have those things. So it's a kind of word. We have integer, we have float, we have some execution steps, and when we combine all those things and do some meaningful instructions, then computer get that meaningful instructions and it execute as per the instruction, and after execution it generates certain result, and we get all those results as an output. So this is the basic concept of programming language. The next thing which should be there in our mind when we are dealing with coding is, why there are so many programming languages. So the concept is very simple. Like we have many languages in the world. People do not talk in a single language. And similarly in coding also, I mean, when coding was getting developed, then there was a chronology. So in every let's say people from different parts of the country were developing different programs, and thereby different programming languages came into picture. And after that, based on the efficiency, based on the reliability, and based on the robustness of the system, few languages have taken taken additional importance. Like we are aware of C language, we are aware of FORTRAN, we are aware of Matlab. So all those languages have developed additional importance, and that came from the chronology. And few languages we no more use those languages. Like few languages we no more talk in that language. Similarly in coding language also we have seen this particular thing. The next question that should be come in our mind is, what are the types of programming languages? I'll come to it. Does the world need new language? That is an important question, because in every step we can see developments are going on. So there are generations of coding, like first generation language, second generation, up to fifth generation we have. Still people are working on it, and there might be new coding language coming in upcoming days. So in this particular course we are not bothered about all those things, because developing a code is a hectic job, and we are not very good at this particular thing, because Those are the job of computer science people. But in this particular course, what we are focusing on is how to use a particular coding language in order to solve our problem. Suppose we are a chemistry guy, we have to solve a particular thermodynamic problem. So we are not bothered about whether Matlab solves that problem, or Fortran solves that particular problem. What we need actually is we have to solve our problem. We have to get the thermodynamics or kinetic data, and we have to go through it so that we can do our further calculations. So any language we learn, we have to learn it properly so that we can use it. And in our courses, we are not computer science people. In our courses, we will only be teaching you how to use any particular coding language in order to solve scientific problems. So here I have again taken something about programming languages. Like a programming language is a set of rules. I have already told you have to follow a certain rules in a stepwise manner, because otherwise it will not be meaningful. It will not be able to do a particular job. So set of rules are very much important. Then comes a programming language is a set of rules for communicating an algorithm. Now, what is an algorithm? Algorithm means sequence of steps. Suppose when we do a particular job, like we have to go for an examination, we are appearing for gate examination. So there are certain steps to be followed. The first step would be you have to apply for the examination. You have to get the registration certificate or admit card. You have to locate the exam center. Then you have to ask people, or you have to google it where the examination center is located. When this is done, then you have to go to that particular place on that particular date and time, and you have to write your examination. Once the examination is written, you have to submit your paper, and then you have to wait for the result, and when and the result will come. So in this process, we have gone through all the steps, and there were steps sequentially. Like you cannot apply the examination and directly get scorecard, because if you skip the intermediate steps, then it does not make any sense. Similar, in a code, if you skip a particular step, the code will not give you a meaningful result. Another point I have written here, that is, it provides a linguistic framework for describing computations. I will describe it in a detail when we'll be dealing with codes. In short, if you have been asked to define a particular programming language, then we can tell like this: a programming language is a notational system for describing computation in a machine readable and human readable form. So these two terms are very important: machine readable and human readable. So there are generation of development of different languages. So in the first level coding, there was things which are not human readable, but that was machine readable. So those things were very difficult to write. But nowadays, the programmings are like English language. If we tell like add a plus b, it will add a plus b and give you the result as c. So the programming has become such easy. Like if you see Matlab, if you see Python, all those programming languages are like English language only. The instructions are very easy, and you can actually understand, if you, even if you do not know many things, by seeing a particular code, you can understand what a person is trying to do. So this much human readable it has become now, but initially it was not human readable, it was machine readable. Everybody know computer does not understand except 0 and 1. So everything has to be converted in the form of 0 and 1, that is called binary system. So inside a when you compile a program, so the instructions are given in say regular form, but machine converts it into binary form so that it can understand, and all the calculations are done in binary form. So everything has to be converted in binary form so that it can understand, and all the calculations are done in binary form. So this much human readable it has become now. So Am I audible now? I believe I am audible now. Yeah, let us proceed. So I was here. There are three different set of languages. One is high level language, low level language, and executable machine level language. So we should not do much of things in this particular aspect because yeah. Yeah, I guess now you can see my screen. I was here. There are three different kinds of program. The first one is high level program, the second one is low level program, and the last one is executable machine code. I have already told. Now I am taking the last one. You can see there are nothing but 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0 instructions. That means machine can only understand this 0 and 1. So whatever we tell in the instructions, that will come as a form of 0, 1, 0, 1, but we do not have to bother much about it. But basic idea is important. So whatever instructions we are giving instructions nowadays in a high level program. If you see in that high level program, so we have defined a class triangle, and we are defining a float surface. A float means that will take fraction value. So in the fraction value, if you see, we have defined a particular program just to calculate half b into h, where half b is the base and h is the height of a particular triangle. So it may happen that the calculation will lead to a particular fraction, and that is why we define the float surface, and it is calculating the surface, and it will give me the value of the surface. But in inside the code, it is becoming a kind of 0, 1 and 0, 1, and this is becoming a typical complex problem. However, we are putting an instruction in a easy language, and we are getting an output in fraction. So that is how it has become nowadays. So we will only learn about high level program instructions. This 0, 1, 0, 1 is none of our business, but basic thing is important, and that is why in the first class I am touching upon all the things. However, from the next class we will not talk a single line about it. We'll directly go to the program, and we'll start writing our program, and we'll see how that is important for people like us, people who are doing science, people who are doing engineering, how it is useful. So I have told there are up to fifth generation languages. Preliminary things I have already talked about. Like in a machine language, first generation language was machine language. That means it was very active. It was not human readable. It was a kind of 0, 1 and 0, 1. It was like the way so people so machine can understand. It was not made for people to understand. Only some people who have developed it, and who are very good at those things can understand those programs. But from the second generation languages, so it has started becoming a kind of human readable, and people can actually have an idea what is written. And then there was certain bridge where this readable human readable form goes into machine readable form, and a compiler does the particular thing, and that is why compiler is needed. In a compiler, what compiler does, it transforms the human readable instructions to the machine readable instruction, and the computer solves that particular problem. In the third level language, it became more closer to an English language. That means with the generation, the instructions or the syntax are becoming very simple, and we are here like in the third level language. There was Fortran, COBOL, C plus, Visual Basic. Out of this, I have taken these two programming languages. The first one is C and the second one is Fortran. In this particular course, we'll learn both the things in hand. Like initially we'll start with C language. We'll write simple programs, then we'll convert it into Fortran, and we'll see how the syntax are different but the basic algorithm is same. And that is why in this particular course we have taken two programming languages. Similar development has happened in the fourth level and fifth generation languages. Now forget about generations. The most important part for we engineer is which what are the languages which will be useful for our cases. So the first one is Fortran. Fortran, the full form of Fortran is formula translation. So it was developed at IBM in mid 1950s, and people started working with it. Initially it was developed by a company, and after that academicians started using that. Even it was hugely used in NASA, and nowadays in even I mean in every academic institutions, whoever is working in the field of computational fluid dynamics or basic mathematical problems are using this particular tool. This is very robust tool. It is very much important. That day only somebody asked me why we will not go for Matlab, because Matlab has very easy set of instructions. The answer to this particular question is, first of all, Fortran is an open source software. Anybody can download and use this particular program, but Matlab is developed by a particular company, and that is very costly, and affording the same is not very easy for all of us, and hence this is very much important. Another important thing is in Fortran, the computation is faster compared to the Matlab. In Matlab, if you are solving many set of equations together, then it takes more time, and sometimes it becomes very difficult to run that particular code. However, in Fortran, those things are not there, but Fortran generally uses Linux interface. So in Windows, it is very difficult to run. But for this preliminary learning, we'll be using a compiler that will be very much compatible with Windows. So that will be a question. I mean, that question may arise in your mind, like which compiler will be using. How will you get the compiler when I'll be instructing you to write the code? So how will you write in your at your home? So for that, there are two things. First of all, I will send you one link. You can download a particular compiler which will be compatible to Windows, and you can install in your system. Other thing is, I will send you another link. There are online compilers. You don't need to install anything. You'll just open up that one tab for Fortran. You put your code, just click on execute, and it will run your program. So for this particular course, compiler will not be that much important, but I will send you both the things. Whoever wants to download and install, they can install it. I will set you few video links. There are instructions given, so please download it and install it. Otherwise, you use this online compiler. This is initial stage coding that was also used hugely. Basic was also used, but the most important programming which people have been using is C. And in this particular course also, we'll write program in C. This was developed by Bell Laboratories in 1970s, whereas Fortran was in the year 1950s. So Fortran was developed before C. So the people who already became very much comfortable with Fortran. They like Fortran, and it becomes like if I tell you to write code in Fortran, you also become comfortable in Fortran, and then you don't want to move to C. And that is the chronology that was followed over the years. Now, another important thing, object-oriented programming language. C++ is an object-oriented programming language. So, this is again a matter of computer science. So, you do not have to learn much about object-oriented programming. What you need to do is you need to know that in this particular course, C and Fortran will be used. So, basic things of C and Fortran you may start learning even before I instruct you. Another important thing, you might have heard about Java. This Java is another object-oriented programming. So this object-oriented programming is basically used for developing game, developing few softwares, application, Android applications. So these are not subject of us like who want to solve engineering problems. So in this particular case, Java is not useful. Will not be using Java. So I mean, the people who will be developing game apps, so they will be more comfortable with Java, and they have to learn Java. But for this particular course, will not be learning Java. Those are called special programming languages, and a knowledge about the same is very much important. Special programming language means the thing which you people know. I'll talk about it initially, like latex. Latex is a very useful software which is used for developing PDF files. That means we write in Microsoft Word. Similarly, latex is a platform that is used in Linux platform, and we can actually generate beautiful PDFs. So this is a special job we do with latex. So in latex, a set of coding is there that is followed, and we do a particular job. It can only develop PDF file, it can only develop a doc file, and that is why we call it a special programming language like PostScript. And there are many command languages. People who are working with molecular simulations in research field, they know about those command languages like bash, csh, sh. So those are also not important pertinent to this particular course, but I am giving you an idea about everything. You have heard about Python is a very strong language, and people use it for many purposes. Although I have categorized it in special programming language, but Python is versatile. Python is being used for many things. Like people have done extensive image processing with Python. People have developed softwares with Python, and also the people are using Python for engineering solution. You can solve programming. I mean, difficult differential equations, partial differential equations with the help of Python. Another special programming language which everybody knows is HTML. You know that HTML is used to make web pages, and many people know HTML. But why we categorize it as special coding? Because people who know HTML, they basically develop web page. That HTML code will not be useful for solving Poisson equation, for solving Laplace equation. But in this particular course, our target is to study certain engineering problems, certain science problems. So will not be these things will not be useful for us. So I stop here, and I'll be continuing this session for a while. If you have any question, you can write it in the chat box, and one by one I'll try to say something on your comments. I'm waiting for your comments. This could be any technical questions, any non-technical questions, questions about our initiative. There is one question from Nikita. What is the science behind developing the programs? So this is this is the topic of discussion, and in the upcoming courses, we'll be learning it step by step. But science of coding means there are few logical steps. I have already talked about it. We will be following those logical steps in order to solve particular problem. Like I am taking a specific example. Like I'll start with a particular program where we'll be calculating, say, exponential x, that is an infinite series. I have to calculate the value of a particular infinite series. So how can I write that particular program? What are the steps to be followed? Everything I will tell in the upcoming class. Another question from Rishabh: will you be taking classes every week at this time? No, I'll prefer to take classes after 7 p.m. because there are many people from different parts of the country are there. So it will be helpful if we take classes in the evening, because in the evening everybody more or less become free, and during weekend I will like to take classes. Like it will be either on Saturday or Sunday. Another question: how can I use programming language in botany? In botany, it is not so useful as far as graduation course is concerned. But if you want to do higher study in the field of botany, then you'll be needing this programming language if you do any sort of calculations. And that is why we have designed a particular course for biology people. People who are doing biological sciences, we have designed a special course so that we can relate this numerical coding with biology. Another question: I can't correlate it with science. I will come to it because in the upcoming classes we'll be showing you all these things. Sir, I have started learning COMSOL. Sir, can you make COMSOL tutorial videos from basic? Yeah, we can make, but for that we need a or need an audience. If we get audience, we'll be doing online classes. Will be live. So I'm trying to do that. If I get 10 people, I'll be doing it. Another question: please suggest some books for beginners and also advanced study for engineering problems. Yeah, from the next class, we'll be talking about it. We'll be sending you all the materials. We'll be sending you link of books. Everything will be shared with you people. I'm still waiting for your comments. Vishal, okay, about COMSOL, you can write to me now. Yeah, now we'll not talk much about COMSOL. You can personally write to me. Thank you. Yeah, I will come to your question in the upcoming classes. I'm still waiting for your comments. Another thing which I want to discuss with you people. I have seen people from different background have registered for this particular course, and hence I'll be talking about I'll be talking general coding, and we'll be taking problems from different fields. A particular problem will be taken from engineering background, something will be taken from science, like chemistry problem. So everything I will try to cover up. But we are also providing an advanced course that will be linked to it. In that particular course, we will only be doing engineering problem. Any other comment? and there will be 6 classes for this particular free course, and will cover up all the basic things so that you can start learning code. We'll still wait for a few minutes if anybody else has any query. Yeah, CFD problems can extensively be solved using FORTRAN, and in the advanced course, we'll be doing the same only. In advanced course, we'll start with Laplace equation, Poisson equation. We'll be solving basic Navier-Stokes equation, that means the fluid flow equations. So in the advanced computing, we'll be taking these things. So if anybody is interested, they can register for our advanced programming course. But we'll take some time to start that particular course. Any other comment? Anybody can write. Also, if anybody is interested about the internship with in collaboration with Pioneer of Success and Bioptagen, they can write to us. Everything has gone online, and that is why we have come up with those initiatives. I still wait for a few more comments. We have already shared the timetable of this particular course. So accordingly, we'll be taking classes, and there might be few changes of class. So before every class, we'll be writing to you. So you'll be getting updates from us time to time. We'll end this session within 3-4 minutes. Before that, I wait for more comments. I guess there are no more comments. Still, I'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Can you elaborate on the internship you are just talking about? Yeah, I can elaborate. Like now, what has happened in a BTech program, there are many internships. Like after second year, after third year, people go for internships, but those opportunities are not there due to this pandemics, and hence we have started this program. So whoever join our internship program will be giving them a particular problem, but before that they have to finish our coding course, because everything is related to coding only. So once you know about C programming and Fortran, we'll be giving you a particular problem related to your subject. Like you are a chemical engineer, hence we'll be giving you a particular chemical engineering problem. You'll be solving those problems, and time to time we'll be in touch with you and we'll be assisting you in order to solving that particular problem. Now, how it will help you in your career, we will be submitting a project report to us, and we have a registered company, and we'll be certifying that you have done a particular project with us. And during your interview you can appear with the project report, and you can tell like you have done this particular project, and that will help you in your placement. And that was the main target. More questions. In the advanced course, will there be C or Fortran language only, or any other language as well? In the advanced course, we'll be doing mainly with C and Fortran. However, we'll come up with Matlab later on. So we'll think about it. We'll let you know shortly. Does the advanced course deal with engineering problems only? Mostly, but in true sense, if you are doing higher study, then I mean in research there are no barrier. Engineering and science problems, we'll be taking a few science problems, and it will be, I mean, in the advanced course will be instructing for 1 month or 2 months, and after that there will be 1 month duration for assignments, and based on your background we'll be giving you assignment. If you are from engineering background, we'll be giving you engineering problem. If you are from science background, we'll give you science problem. That is the strategy we are currently following. uh, which programming language is most suitable for research purposes? That depends actually. You can use any programming language, but the people who do extensive coding, they use FORTRAN C, and the people who do more or less medium kind of calculations that are not so extensive, they use Matlab. Will the advanced course about computational chemistry? I have already told, like it will be generic for first 2 months, and then based on your background, we'll be giving you assignments and will help you to solve that particular assignment so that you can relate that course with your program. Like I'll take one example. If you are doing MSc chemistry nowadays, after MSc, if you go for higher study, if you go for research, then a chemistry student has also chemistry student also has to write numerical code. Sometimes it may appear, not always, because if you do only experimental thing, it will not come. But learning coding is very much important looking into the current situation. Next question: will it be attached with free course? I guess, but I am just in second year, promoted recently. This is attached to this free course means if you do not know basic programming language, then you'll not be able to do the advanced course. So yeah, there is some registration fee for the advanced course, because we are doing this startup this very recently, and we need to have some source of income. That is why all the courses cannot be free, but we are charging very minimal amount. So a particular course at 1,000 rupees is very less, I guess. Anybody can pay if they feel it is worth. Anybody can pay. So we don't have much of course fee. Other thing is, yeah, and you recent second year promoted recently doesn't matter, because if you see IIT NIT culture, even a first year student can work very smoothly. So will it be possible, like I have not yet got the opportunity to study my course subjectly? Yeah, it depends on you. Like if you are comfortable, if you can manage time, you can do the advanced computing. Even you can do the internship with us. And this advanced computing and internship, there is a basic difference. If you do the advanced coding, will not go in the actual real life problem, but if you do the internship, will give you a real life problem, and that particular problem will be splitted into 3 4 particular steps. I mean, the internship will be more, you have to work more. That is the main thing. So you can write to me individually if you want to join any of the programs we have. But please share our initiatives, because we'll be continuing these free courses at least next 1 year. We'll have many courses, like in the next, we are targeting microprocessor coding program, and that will be very much interesting. If you have any interest, you can just join, and I'll encourage you people to share our initiative with your friends so that we also grow, and with us you people also grow. The basic target of our initiative is to help engineering and science background students. Anything else? I got many comments, and I'm very happy that we are, I mean, this program is becoming interactive, and I wanted to do the same. You may ask questions, because from the next class, we'll not be able to take questions from you, because we have to complete the course. But I'll request you to keep to be with us, and we'll have many courses for you. Also, we are, as I already told, I am working with another company, that is Bioaptogen Private Limited. They also have many courses. Like there are few people who are from biological background. We have courses for them also. So if your background is biology, then Bioaptogen will be more useful for you, and you can write to me if you have any query regarding Bioaptogen as well. So I guess there are no more comments. So let me thank Mr. Shostik Pathak. He helped me a lot and he is a team member. Also Manos Devnath was there, so they work with me. We have a small team. We just started our initiative, but I thank all of them for being a part of this particular course and for assisting me. Also, I am thankful to all the participants for registering with us, and I hope in future also you will register with our programs, and we'll be trying to serve you as much as possible. Yeah, Hariom. Anything else? Anybody wants to give any feedback? I'll wait for a few feedback, because we have done this, we are running this course, so many efforts are being put. So a few feedback from your side will be helpful for us. Good to see. Many thanks. Okay, once again I thank you all, and I am, yeah, thank you sir, and thank you to you. Yeah, the session was informative. We look forward to making all the sessions informative. When will be our next class? I will inform you. I have already shared one timetable. Based on that, we'll be doing the next classes. And before every class, we'll inform you. You are getting emails constantly. So let me end this session here. Will the session remain on YouTube? Oh yeah, that is a good question. So this month we'll be continuing with the help of YouTube, because there were many people, and yeah, all the free courses will run on YouTube, and the courses which will be paid, like advanced course, that particular course will be doing in Google Meet, so that we can allow you to come on board and speak. So all the paid courses will be on Google Meet or some other video conferencing platform. All the free courses will go live on YouTube, so that other people can also see the courses, and we also need some sort of publicity, and that is why we are following YouTube, Facebook. I also request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also like our page on Facebook. We regularly share updates. Yeah, for more queries, mail us. So yeah, Dipankar Bhomik sir, I guess from Tripura University. Thank you so much, sir, for this informative and interaction session. Yeah, thank you too, and we'll be looking forward to more sessions like this. So today I stop here, and again we'll meet in the next class. All the information will be given via email. Thank you very much.